favorite podcast, Mindset Talks Podcast.
Per usual.
I don't know why I took on Amanda's role and like kind of dragged that and sung that out. But anyways,
It's only right.
I guess. So as always, we want to make sure that remind you guys that we are absolutely everywhere. So we need to make sure that you guys are watching us and subscribing and following on all of our platforms, to be Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Yes.
And we appreciate any kind of comments and likes and, just whatever kind of love that you guys can give us. So make sure you guys do that if you haven't already.
All the love.
Yes, because we need it and we appreciate it.
Big facts.
Oh, man.
Very nice intro there, my friend. Taking over. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I try.
Yeah, you did it. But how's it going? I feel like even though we're best friends, we don't talk all the time and we go through spurts sometimes. But I feel like I haven't talked to you in ages, and I know that's not a fact. But that's just the feeling I have. So I'm just gonna ask you, what's going on? What's happening? What's new? What's lively?
Oh, man. There's actually a lot going on right now. Let me kind of like pick and choose in my head, like the things that I would like to share.
Okay. We ready?
There's actually something I've been debating on bringing up here. I was trying to give a little bit of slack, but I am getting very frustrated. So I kind of think that I want to just like put them on blast, because like I'm all about like customer service and, things like, I understand like things happen, like whatever, but like customer service.
She's bothered.
It's just like everything about like where it's at. And people might not know exactly like what I'm talking about, and you will if you decide to Google them in your leisure. But I don't know if you remember a while back, Amanda, that when we were talking about like Christmas presents and stuff like that, I had sent you a link to a company that had like really nice like leather jackets and like Lettermans and stuff like that. That was designed for like the cities that you love and live in. So, New York, Atlanta, Cali, whatever.
Chicago, major cities, right?
Yeah. And it was something that my boyfriend had really wanted for Christmas, but he was like telling me not to do it, but it was really only because it was not cheap. And so I decided to go ahead and purchase with them. And this was back in December.
Okay.
It is now February, the end of February, going into almost March. And I have not received my item.
Wait a minute, hold on. Can we pause real quick? Before you go any further, what was the ETA for this item?
So that's the thing, is that when I bought it, I didn't get an ETA. And I tried like looking at like the website and stuff to see if like in the FAQs it was like, you can expect, whatever, because there was a part of it that was custom. Like you got to pick like a patch that you put on it. So I know like part of it was like custom, so I didn't expect it to come, anytime soon necessarily, but going on to almost 3 months, I'm just kind of like, okay, like what is going on? Like what is really good? I have tried to email them. I have called them. I have messaged them on Instagram. I have done everything trying to get the attention of this company.
Damn.
And I would like to say that they are endorsed by a celebrity. So, it's not one of those companies that you kind of just thought that like wasn't like a real thing or whatever. Because you would think that, if it's endorsed by a celebrity that they are, legit.
It's more valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I felt comfortable making the purchase and things like that. But now it's just like wild. So one of the times that I reached out to them on Instagram, they did actually respond, and they responded fairly quickly. And they told me that my item was going to be shipped at the end of January. And that they were like backed up and like whatever. And I was like,
Understood.
Okay, exactly. So I was like, okay, cool. But ever since then, I haven't received any updates. I haven't received any shipping information. I haven't received anything. So I've reached back out on numerous occasions saying, "Hey, like, can you update me? Whatever, whatever." And now I'm at a point
Right.
where I just want to completely cancel my order.
Yeah.
Um, but drum roll, please.
Brrr.
So today, actually, I was getting fed up and I was like, all right, let me go back to their website and figure out, what their phone number is so I can call them again to see if I can actually get someone on the phone this time.
Okay.
Their website is no longer in service.
What the hell?
So I am
Yo.
I'm at like a standstill right now with like trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And I wasn't necessarily going to bring it up today. And notice I still haven't mentioned the name of this company. But I'm
Lucky
very
for them.
close to wanting to completely put them on blast because just their customer service alone, regardless of the fact that I haven't received my item yet, is completely trash. And
Yeah.
that's not how you should be treating people, especially when your products are supposedly quality and they are very expensive. And when I say expensive, like I'm talking about like,
Couples of hundreds.
exactly.
Right. Like this isn't like, oh, it's an $80 custom shirt. No,
No, like
mofo. Like
couples of
I
hundreds, like you said. Yeah.
right. I'm baffled, yo, because I literally felt infuriated this whole time. Like, yeah, I sat here with a smile on my face because I was in disbelief. But what does it take to give me any type of information other than we're backed up? Well, obviously you must be backed up because here it is a month and a half later to finally hear something back from you.
Yeah.
And all you can say is that you're backed up. But to not see for me, to not have any type of after sale correspondence is a huge red flag. And I'm not saying that you should have known because if you never, worked with a company before, then you don't know how they operate. But
Yeah.
this is like a great learning curve for all of us out here when we're ordering anything. Is like if you're not getting any type of an ETA from the get-go,
Mhm.
or you're not getting any correspondence within the first week or at least week and a half of purchasing, something is a bit questionable.
Yeah, I mean, so I did get like the confirmation email and like whatever saying, when it ships, like we'll let you know and stuff like that.
Mm,
So even like at first, like I didn't think of anything of it. They
right.
have 20,000 plus, followers on their Instagram and stuff. So, you wouldn't have that many followers and being endorsed by a celebrity if you weren't legit. So
Maybe.
I mean, yes, and because I don't know. I have some thoughts about the celebrity, but um
Mm,
I don't know. I'm just at a loss and I still don't really know and maybe I'm like bugging out, but like I still don't necessarily know if they are not real. Um
like a legit company real.
yeah, because like I mean unless like they were able to really like spoof it out or whatever, but like their Instagram's
Mm-hmm.
not that bad. Like they do have like people like in their jackets and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know, but at this point,
It could be fake.
I mean,
They have AI generated pictures and shit now.
I guess that's true too. So I don't really
But I don't
know.
want it to be fake. Ugh.
Well, I don't either, but I also want to make sure so that way, if you had, I don't know if you were actually thought about it, but like if you did think about it, don't.
I ain't think about it now. That's ouch.
Don't think about it. But I
Hell
also don't know
no.
if you know or any of our listeners might know if something like this does happen. Um, does anyone think that like I can reach out to my credit card company and saying,
Yes,
"Hey, like, is that a thing?"
absolutely. Absolutely. So, I've had not extreme of a situation, but I've had a situation where I did like, you do like a free trial on a subscription,
Mhm.
and as long as you cancel it before whatever day they
Right.
say you want to start to get charged, you're good. Well, it happened to me where the motherfuckers charged me,
Mm.
and I'm like, hello, I have a screenshot here of when I canceled.
Oh,
So, and mind you, I canceled many days before it would have charged me. So I knew I was in the clear. Like I literally canceled it probably like the second day after
gotcha.
that I started the free trial.
Oh.
So right, because I'm like, because it's like, oh, you'll still have, access until whatever date.
Yeah.
So
Oh, gotcha.
I in that situation, that was actually a which isn't much different, but through that situation, it was a PayPal account I used to process the transaction.
Mhm.
So I ended up requesting a refund through PayPal, going through
Oh,
such and
yeah,
such.
that's
So
different.
but I've had in the past, really, really random. I've had in the past where my bank card, and this was, I feel like was around the time where it was like, people were putting like readers or whatever on gas station pumps. Like
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
heard about stuff like that. So I
Mhm.
think it was around that time because there was some filthy fraudulent charges on my card. And I'm like, what the
This is all
entire F
different
is
though.
right, but what I'm saying is that you have proof of contacting these people, and now the website is showing as like non-existent.
Mhm.
I personally find that to be sufficient where you're doing everything, you've received absolutely nothing. I don't see why you can't reach out to your bank to see if you can get the charges reversed because this is looking real shifty.
No, it hands down definitely is, but I'm like, I don't know what responsibility the bank has to give me my money back because I don't know if they would get it back from this company. Um,
File a claim. A bank is way more powerful than a person. So I'm sure they have way different access to certain things than we do.
maybe. I don't know. So I've been thinking about kind of doing that next. I'm still trying, me being me, I was still
Hmm.
trying to see like, what I can do reaching out to them first before I completely try to like destroy them. But yeah, so I don't know. Well, to be continued, but just be
Yeah,
careful out there,
we
folks.
we will love to hear the end of this one because wow.
Yeah.
I just want to say I'm sorry, friend, because that is such a headache that no one needs to deal with, and especially when it was a gift for someone. It wasn't even like it was a purchase for yourself. It was a
Right.
gift for someone else, and
Mm,
you're going through hoops and hurdles. I say just scratch that whole shit,
I
get your
know.
money back, and warn the world about who it is after.
Well, I'm gonna try to get my money back. We'll see about that. But I know, he also
Ugh.
feels bad about it too, because he's like, I told you about it and like I wanted it and like whatever. But
No, he don't need to be doing all that
yeah,
feeling bad
no,
stuff.
no, no. Because like, how are you supposed to know?
Right.
But hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be able to get my refund because it's really gonna come in handy for this insane ass fucking increase that I've been having on my my auto insurance. Because it would help
Oh,
pay for at least a month
that's
of this new
wild.
increase, which is like, I don't know if you have experienced this, but my most recent payment for my auto insurance has gone up double the price that it was last month. And
Wild.
I I called them and I was like, "Hey, like, is this a mistake? Like, did you charge me for 2 months or like what is going on?"
Hey guys, we have an issue here.
And they were like, "Oh no, there was actually like a nationwide increase for like insurance companies due to inflation and like the costs that it is now to like repair vehicles and like whatever." And I was like, "Oh, so I have to pay double going forward." And they're like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Oh, okay. So I'm gonna be calling around to different auto insurance companies because like."
Right.
Double? Like, I'm okay with, like, a little increase, 20 bucks, maybe even 50 bucks, like, whatever, but, like, double?
Double?
No.
Like, did I get a
For
double raise? Did I get a pay wage increase?
yeah, did not. Uh, but, like, it's for 1 vehicle, and, like, I'm paying more than I know people pay for more than 1 vehicle, and I no longer have a sports car, so it's like, what is really
You would
happening
think.
here? And I'm
That's
also
so
not in New York
wild.
anymore, which is more, higher insurance costs just due to high
Yeah.
accident zones and, like, whatever, but, like
Yeah, it's literally number one of the states by insurance.
yeah, so, like, when I was in New York and I had, like, a sports car, like, okay, but now that I'm not in New York anymore and I no longer have a sports car, like, there's
Hmm.
no reason why I'm paying what I'm paying, now going forward.
Yeah, no, that's
So
wild. Absolutely wild.
it is.
I have not experienced the same.
Well, good. I hope you don't.
Yeah, and I, recently added another vehicle to my insurance. So, um, I can't say if that second vehicle that was added, if it was at a higher rate than it maybe previously would have been. I mean, obviously than previously, right? Because as time goes on, everything just becomes more expensive anyways.
Yeah.
But as in before this surge, I don't know what difference it would have made. But I can definitely say that, I just did the math fully, that my premium is only like 1,600 for the year for two vehicles. And
Hmm.
I will say I do have two
Oh,
older vehicles, so that is actually a lower premium
oh, that's true too.
than you would typically see. Like I was just looking because I'm like, damn, what is it looking like for these states? So a lot of states are like 2,400 as an average. So the top 10 states, 2,400 a year is the minimum average, being at least
Hmm.
$200 a month for car insurance.
Interesting.
Mm, wild. I do not pay $200 a month for car insurance. But it's like,
Hmm.
what makes it go up so high? Hmm. What are they really working towards? So I know you and I previously discussed this a little bit,
Hmm.
but it is very random to all of us with this car insurance jumping so increasingly high. And it's just like, for the fuck, what? Like, my car didn't change, like everything's the same. Why are my prices jumping so high?
Yeah.
And the things we forgot to even think about were the natural weather that's happening is significantly changing. Places that don't usually flood are flooding out like crazy. So
Yeah.
there goes a whole bunch of cars sailing down the street, right? You
Right. Right.
have, what was it, Illinois that had a tornado?
Oh, I have no
I
idea.
forgot. It was one state that had a tornado or is having tornadoes that typically wouldn't. So it's
Hmm.
just all of these random, disasters that are happening that are causing the car insurance to also increase because they're like, well, we don't anticipate this actually happening here, but now that random things are happening everywhere, we have to raise your car insurance so that way we can actually help you when it comes to addressing an issue with
Hmm.
your car.
Yeah, which is true, and like I understand it, but like I just don't
Wild.
understand why the changes always have to be so damn drastic. Like,
No,
what
really
is
though.
going on here?
Really? And it's like, did I miss something that, everyone, like the minimum wage was going up or something across the country? So now car insurances are going up. I don't really, I'm not finding a true correlation here that just says, yeah, it's like they're just trying to make everybody broke and go nowhere and do nothing.
Yeah, like we're trying to help the homeless population while also trying to increase it at the same time.
Right. It makes
Oh
absolutely no
man,
sense.
it doesn't.
And then they say there's also a shortage of mechanics, which obviously I have no idea about. I don't pay attention to that stuff. Like if my car needs to get fixed, I just go and handle it. Nothing has been different for me in that aspect, but apparently people aren't working on cars as much as they used to. I don't know if it's different too with having a whole bunch of like the hybrid and like electric vehicles. I don't know
Yeah, I was
how
gonna
much that
say,
really affects.
yeah, you probably don't really need like true mechanics anymore for those like
Mm-mm.
newer vehicles, but also everyone wants to be an entrepreneur and like no one wants to like do hard work anymore either. So
Yeah.
it's
Manual
just,
labor is out the door. Like
yeah.
they're just like, oh, well, let a computer do it. And which I'm not gonna act like I don't let computers do things for me because I sure as hell do. I'm not gonna act like I'm not a part of that, but I'm
Mhm.
not gonna be no damn mechanic under no car. I'm gonna definitely tell you that I'm not there.
Yeah, well, I can't even say I do minor things. I like change the filters and like that's about it. But I
The
would like to.
minimum.
If I could, I would like to. Like I want to be able to like change my tire, but like I feel like there's certain things like you just need man hands to be able to do.
Oh, the tire's not that bad. I can change a tire. I can change a
Oh,
tire, and I technically know how to
okay.
change the brakes on the front tires. But
Oh, have you ever done it?
I have been a part of it, but I haven't actually done it myself
Gotcha. Because I'm like, yeah, I've
because
like seen people do it too, but like I've never done it myself, which is a whole
I've
different
like
thing.
touched like a step or two into it, like because I have two uncles who are mechanics, and there was one
Hmm.
I would always go to because the other one moved.
Mm,
boo-hoo. But, I would go to that one uncle that would always help. So there's a few times he let me actually like fully engage and do stuff. So then
gotcha.
that way, like I had like a little hands-on.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's not terrible doing that stuff, but like doing it all the time for a whole bunch of people, no, that's where I would draw the line. But for my own vehicle, sure, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, definitely. Like I remember my dad back in the day used to like change the oil and like all the cars and like he would get under the and I'm just like, I don't know. I wish that like I had known or like learned, even though it's like not like it's not a girl thing to do, but
But
like,
still.
I think it would be nice to a good skill to be able to have, right? Because like then they charge you an arm and a leg to do that shit. And it's like the easiest things that they
Mm-hmm.
charge like so much money for, and it's like you
It's
couldn't really just do it
wild.
yourself. It really is like,
It's
mhm.
wild. And then like supposedly they, get over on women. I put that in air
Oh,
quotations.
oh yeah,
Just
they
with
do.
selling cars and then fixing cars. It's just always like, so you're right. Like us as women, we definitely should, if we have the opportunity to be
Mhm.
stronger in that area of life. So then that way, one, we're not just being taken advantage of. Also, two, it's kind of hot when women know how to do like things that guys typically do. We don't have to
Mhm.
necessarily do it, but to be like, yeah, my girl can change her tire. Like, yeah, I could change my tire. What?
Right. No, I completely agree.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, I will never do anything car related without my boyfriend because like I have seen the differences between me calling somewhere and him calling somewhere and like
It's
just
wild.
it really is. And it's like just the disrespect.
No, yeah. My man
Like
won't let me take over. He's like, "Oh, you need this, that, and the third done." And I'm like, "Why are you just acting like I can't handle it?" He's like, "No, I'm gonna take care of it." I'm like,
right.
"Okay,
And
we'll
it's
let
not
you
even
take
like
care of it."
they don't think that you can't. It's like they
No, it's
just
just
know that like it's
the
better
other
that way.
person on the other side of the phone. That's what it is. It's
Yeah.
who we would have to talk to. That's what they're concerned about.
And
We
yeah,
have
it's
such good
definitely
men.
wild. Definitely do.
Ladies, if your man is not taking care of your car dealings, you need to make sure that he get on that phone, use his manly voice, and then give him some love afterwards for taking care of your situation. Simple
Yeah.
as that.
Yes, grand old advice right there.
Gem
Oh man,
dropped.
that it
But
was.
aside from dying mechanics, we do have one more dying situation to talk about.
Oh,
And
do.
this is very near and dear to the heart for those of us who are located in the state of Connecticut. Even those of you who are around, Rhode Island, Mass, New York, those of you who come and travel to Connecticut to do a little shopping,
Mhm.
who probably aren't coming here to shop anymore
Yeah, I would agree.
because the Connecticut malls, y'all, dying. I don't even really like what is a mall? These kids today probably are like a mall. What's a mall?
I know.
Especially here in this state. Other states it's totally different. Like they probably more so outlets than malls. But like here,
Mhm.
downhill. What the
It
hell's happening?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, this whole new age world is like I don't know, it's so different, right? Like all these like online shops and stuff, and then like brick and mortars are closing and like it's just too expensive for rent and I don't know. It's just awful because, like, let me tell you, being a kid and hanging out at the mall at the weekends was like
Mm,
the go-to thing to do. And I feel so
yes.
bad for our youth who doesn't get to enjoy that same pleasure.
Right. There's like no getting dropped off. It's like it's Friday. It's the last day of school for the week. You're already like cooking up plans with your friends. Like, oh, you going to the mall later today? Yeah, I'm gonna go to the mall tonight. Or you coming to pick me up? Yeah, you and your mom coming to pick me up so we can go to. Yeah, we gonna pick you up. What
Mhm.
you wearing? And then the whole time after school, you on the phone figuring out what you're gonna wear to the mall, just to be at the mall and look at boys that you're not even gonna talk to.
Right.
Like, oh, he cute. Oh my gosh, I think he just looked at me. Run! And then you just run into some random ass store, filter through the rack, like you're then knowing damn well your money is saved for the food court. And yeah, which the food court now at the
Uh,
Crystal Mall, because this is the one mall that I
yeah, I
do
was gonna
know.
say. I was like,
There's
speaking of food courts.
there's literally like 3 restaurants in that whole thing.
Yeah, that's wild.
That food court had at least like 7, 8 maybe restaurants, about
Mm.
7, I would say. 3.
That's insane. Didn't they like close like Taco Bell even or something? Is that?
Yeah, there's no Taco Bell. It's like Subway, it's like Sarku, the Japanese type of,
Oh,
and then Dairy Queen.
well, I must say, kudos to Dairy Queen because I love y'all.
They
But
be holding on strong because it got dessert. You can't close the dessert, you know?
that's true. But it's just like wild though. Like I know, so like here, in my part of town, me and my
Hmm.
boyfriend will go to the mall for dinner sometime. Not to like go eat there, but like we'll get it
Right.
to go and come
Right. Something to
home.
go. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't imagine if I still lived on your part of the state and was like, I can't even do that because like there's nothing there.
Girl, it's already like not a lot of options here in general outside of the mall. So the
Right.
mall is just like a strong representation on the inside as to what's really holding in this area.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I know. And it just, it stinks. But I also don't know if maybe that's because like now people are going to like the casinos to go shopping. And then, you have like the outlets that are close to the area, which I don't know how well either of those are doing or if you can speak to that. But maybe that's why the Crystal Mall is
Uh,
dead.
I've heard that the outlets in Westbrook are going to be closing,
Oh, really?
and right, but Clinton is
That's a
good.
shocker.
Clinton's the better one.
Huh. I mean, it is, but like Westbrook's going to close. Like, that's insane.
But because if I'm not mistaken, the Westbrook is also the Tanger outlets
I think
and
so.
or Tanger, however they say it. I always say Tanger. It's probably
Yeah.
Tanger,
I
whatever.
don't know.
But they also have that in the casino. So I think
Right.
that's a part of the reason why.
Oh, God.
Um,
But
but
that casino was so damn far away. Like, ain't no one going over there.
it depends where you live though. Because like for
I
me,
guess.
it's honestly about equal distance
Mm,
for me to get to
I
either or.
guess. Yeah. But like, yeah, I don't know. That's insane.
I don't understand it. And it's crazy because like
Hmm.
yes, we're talking about like the casino area at the moment, but this is applicable to many malls in Connecticut. Like this
Yeah.
isn't applicable solely to this area because, we have, Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun, and
Hmm.
which Mohegan shopping in there, I think is kind of like,
It's limited, right? Like, it's always been like weird stores. It's
I
not
feel
like,
like to shop in Mohegan Sun, you need to be of like 50 plus to want to shop in there because there's nothing, in my opinion, of my age group that would be interesting.
yeah,
Um,
it's true.
Foxwoods, they got more down packed over there at
Hmm.
Foxwoods, so there's more of an age range there. But then you have like, which I don't know how many people even heard of this mall, the Eastbrook Mall. It's in Mansfield. It's this little small. I don't even know why it's called a mall. For one, the shit's like a little outlet, but it's like, but there's a lot of stores in there, which I don't know. It's just the smallest mall I've ever seen in my life, and it's just non-existent now with shopping. It's just West Coast to East Coast, even out your way. I remember I used to go to is it the Milford Mall with my sister.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Milford Mall is like what, like 3 floors? Like this is big ass mall.
I think
I
so.
haven't been there and I don't know how that one's looking. So I can't speak on that one, but that used to be a fan fave to go to. And I couldn't even imagine going there and just with how all the other malls are trending, what that would look like
Mm,
now. So if anyone who's listening goes to the Milford Mall, please let me know how it looks. I am interested in taking a trip. I don't mind a little road trip if there's an actual mall still existing
yeah.
in Connecticut.
Well, I can tell you the Danbury Mall is popping. Um,
Okay.
there's
I've
definitely
never been.
there's nothing closed there. Like there's always like a shit ton of people. Like it's like a nightmare. But I think because Danbury is so close to New York and there's no other mall that's like really close to there. So I think,
Hmm.
they get a lot of like New York residents and stuff.
Makes sense.
But then I also think that what is it called? I think West Farms Mall is still pretty poppin' too. I want to say I was there like last summer.
Yeah, West Farms isn't too bad.
Yeah, the only thing that I have to mention, because we were talking about like pastimes and going to the
Oh
mall and like
gosh.
whatever. I think everyone can agree with me that the saddest thing to happen to the West Farms Mall is the removal of the Rainforest Cafe.
Oh, I didn't realize they removed it. I've never been.
Okay, well, that's like a whole issue in itself because like you're sheltered.
I am not sheltered.
Because like how did you not go? That was like the best place to like go to. And I forget
They
when
ain't take me
exactly they
nowhere.
closed it, but they closed it like a while ago. And the only other one I've seen is in Atlantic City. They have a rainforest cafe there too.
Jeez
I don't know
Louise.
if it's still there or not, but it was a couple of years ago, I think.
Wow, no, just never been. It's they don't take me nowhere, so
Oh God, no, it was like the best thing about the mall.
ugh. But I do remember walking past it.
Oh,
I just
well,
never been in
if
it.
you've at least seen it, it is an iconic thing because,
I believe it.
especially with like the like waterfall and like, yeah, it was just like a thing. And I
She's over
apologize
here
for the
reminiscing.
sirens in the background if y'all can hear that.
That's what happens when you live in the hood. No playing.
Shut up.
Y'all, she did say she was close to New York, so obviously,
Okay, yeah, but I don't live in the Bronx anymore, so hood
No,
no
no,
longer.
no. No, but we definitely seen more of these. So, like, we knew mainly the Crystal Mall was dead and dying
Oh, like a
and
long
just,
time ago.
for a while now. But,
Mm.
um, looking at the page of what's his name, Jimmy Official, he
Yes.
definitely does some reviews on different malls in Connecticut. He does reviews on different stuff in Connecticut, but his mall reviews was just like dead, dead, abandoned, ghosted, dead. Like there was nothing
Mhm.
on there that's even worth looking at, worth going to. And I can definitely validate, obviously being someone who's been to the Crystal Mall, that his reviews are quite accurate. Quite
Yeah.
accurate. It's not even like he went on the wrong day. Like his shit is real.
Yeah, yeah. No, that is true. It definitely is because then also one of the other malls we didn't talk about yet is the Waterbury Mall.
Haven't been there.
That one I heard was popping like back in the day, but I'll tell you I've been
Hmm.
there somewhat recently and like he is accurate in saying that like every store on like the first level is like shut down and closed.
Oh
Like
my
they've
gosh.
even done like the Crystal Mall and like are removing some of like the things like the food court and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And it's just become like such a dead zone. And it's like, what are people going to do about these malls? Like there, I feel like things you can do to bring entertainment into these areas where people are
Yes.
going to go to. You just have to
Yes.
make it like a little creative, like some kind of
Creative
like
and
a
cost effective where they can actually spend money
yeah.
on it since their car insurance is high as shit to have to get to the damn mall.
Facts. Oh, you threw me off. No, definitely, because like I don't know, like not like amusement park, but like, do something to bring the families in that's like,
Hmm.
they can go, routinely and stuff. Like, okay, there's so many like jump parks and like whatever. Like not saying it's
Hmm.
overrated, but like,
Right.
you can do like a twist of like different things, but it's like I don't know, who has the money to
It-
be able to do these things? I
The
don't know, but
I'm sure the towns and cities do, but they just want to be investing money into Tesla chargers and things like that that they can get a credit back for. But no, like you said though, like simple little things like indoor courts, like like and not necessarily like a court that you have to be on a league for. So you know how they have like the indoor football and soccer fields where you can
Mhm.
have leagues, but even just like a more of like a community center type of place where
Yeah.
you could have indoor tennis courts or racquetball, or even do like a community pool, which I know things like that are expensive and also have a liability to them.
Mhm.
But it's just being able to have stuff where people can be active and engage and actually meet different people
Right.
would because the social media, like there's nothing wrong with social media until people go about it the wrong way and they start having all these perceptions on the wrong things and thinking, people's lives are something that it's actually not.
Mhm.
But you can actually have an opportunity to meet each other in person and just establish relationships. But it's just not having that is just tearing people further apart from each other, especially since COVID, because COVID was like,
Mhm.
oh, yeah, like, I'm not going near anyone.
Yeah.
I don't want, like, I don't know you. I don't know your germs. Back away from me. Right. Like, everyone's just become so distant since
Yeah.
2020. So it would be a great opportunity to really bring people back together.
Mhm.
Housing, I understand housing is important to have, but I personally feel like, again, I personally feel like just some type of like activity and doings for people are way better of an idea.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think so too. Because like you said, there's nothing that's like really bringing people together. And like these
Hmm.
areas still have residents, right? Like people
Hmm.
aren't moving away from these areas. Like if there was
No, they
something
just built a new
attractive.
spot down the street. Sorry, from the mall. They just built a new living place right 2 doors down from the mall.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Right?
But yeah, I mean, so like there's still people there that like are gonna go to things, but like maybe shopping is like a way of like the past because everything is online now. Like maybe that's just
Mhm.
like a thing, but like there are other things like you just said, like we can do to these areas. So it's like, what is it gonna take to kind of bring life back? Because I know so many people are just like so devastated that like these malls are like so dead and
Mhm.
people aren't gonna go if it's already dead, so you're just kind of, like, killing it faster.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Sad.
Y'all need to tell us what you think would be beneficial to have in replacement of these dying malls because there's
Mhm.
more than one community that can benefit from it.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be pretty cool to have, many different ideas come together and, not saying that it would make a huge difference, but you would never know. A lot of people on the same page and people recognizing it, it could really benefit all of us.
Yes, I definitely agree in all aspects because people need activities. We can't just all stay at home and get fat.
Mm, unless you want
Just saying.
to. Anywho,
No,
any more gems we're gonna be dropping this episode, Cassie?
I don't think so. I think that's enough complaining from me for a day.
Yeah, well, no, that was very legit and valid. So, just recapping, if y'all questioning one of those orders that you placed and you didn't get no product yet, go ahead and just keep contacting them folks, or go ahead and get your money back.
Mhm.
And we feel for you on that car insurance. um,
Yeah, well, pay attention to your policies. I'm telling you,
Facts.
they're coming for you.
Facts. And if you found someone with the low, you better let us know, no, because that shit is wild.
It really is, but yeah, please let me know because I am looking to switch.
She's desperate, y'all. But anyways,
Oh,
y'all,
man.
we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Until next time.
Bye, guys.